In this video, I'll show you how to quickly determine the maximum or minimum value of a quadratic equation that is in standard form. What you'll need to be successful in this concept is the following formula, and what this formula does is it gives you the x-coordinate of the vertex, and you'll also need to know the standard quadratic form, which looks like this. The first question asks, determine the maximum or minimum value of this equation. So starting with question 1, the first thing that I want you to do is to analyze the equation that's been given. The equation here has an a term of negative 4x squared. So this right here is your a term. And specifically, the negative 4 is what's important to us. If your a is negative, you'll have a parabola that opens down. And if you have a parabola that opens down, like this, you will have a maximum point at the vertex. So by finding the coordinates of the vertex, which you can easily do by using this formula, we will know the maximum point for this parabola. Let's use this formula. H is equal to negative b over 2a. B in this equation represents negative 1. This right here. It's negative 1. So I'll replace this b with negative 1 over 2 times our a, and that was determined to be negative 4. So our answer is, for the x-coordinate only, 1 over negative 8. 1 over negative 8 represents the x-coordinate of the vertex. Now a vertex is a point, so it also has a y-coordinate. To find the y-coordinate, we substitute this value into our equation. Let's go ahead and do that. Y is equal to negative 4 times 1 over, and the negative doesn't have to be at the bottom. It can be placed at the top. It won't change anything. To the power of 2 minus negative 1 over 8 plus 2. Now all I have to do is use my calculator. Negative 4 bracket negative 1 over 8 to the power of 2 minus negative 1 over 8 plus 2. And this gives us 33 over 16. 33 over 16. Your calculator might not give you the fraction version. It might give you 2.06, and that's fine as well. So there will be a local maximum, or a maximum, at negative 1 over 8 and 33 over 16. That right there is the answer to question 1. In question 2, we're asked the same thing but for a different equation. But unfortunately, unlike question 1, this equation is not in standard form. It needs to be in standard form so you can identify your a and your b term. Let's put it in standard form. Let's isolate for y by bringing this x over and bringing this negative 3 over. If we do that successfully, you should end up with an equation that looks like this. Now we can use our formula. This right here is our b term, and therefore b is equal to negative 1. This right here is our a term, and therefore a is equal to 2. Furthermore, keep in mind that your a term is positive. That means you will have a parabola that is opening up, and so you'll have a minimum vertex. We will apply this negative 1 into the formula. Negative bracket negative 1 over 2 times 2, and that gives us a quarter. That represents the x-coordinate of the vertex. To find the y-coordinate, we plug this back in. Plus 3. I'll use my calculator to evaluate. 2 bracket 1 over 4 minus 1 over 4 plus 3. And this gives me 23 over 8, or 2.875. 2.875, and you can use the fraction, doesn't matter. And therefore, we will have a minimum at 1 over 4, 23 over 8. And so there you have it. That is how to quickly determine the maximum or minimum value of a quadratic equation that is in standard form.